Saturday. Thanks for being with us. How about this on the set? Joe Turpel, Jesse Mendez, two-time world champ, and last year's champ at Sunset Beach, Filipe Toledo. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for the opportunity to be here one last time before, the year goes by.
Gosh, we're going to miss you. Let's get right to it. You made the big statement the other day. First of all, take us through what led you to that and how you're feeling now.
Yeah, I feel great. I feel super happy. Of course, it was a hard decision for me. It took me a few days to realize that, this is actually happening. But I was just, giving priority to myself. Like, I don't want to, but I need to, right? It's hard for me to live this, like to not surf, not compete. I've been down here watching a little bit. I'm like, But I know I need the break. I know I have to, reset, kind of just, live 1 year pressure-free and, be home for the kids, for family, and go on surf trips.
Beautiful. Gosh, we are going to miss you, but we love where you're at and taking your career into your own hands. You deserve it. When I look at the schedule, we're at Sunset, winning it last year. And then you look at the calendar, you look at Portugal, you look at Bells, you look at Margaret River. You've won so many different types of events. The King of Rio, J-Bay, El Salvador. I mean, your range of domination has been unbelievable, and you definitely changed the entire game. When you look at Pipeline and in Tahiti, those are the events that have challenged you. Is that still a fair statement to say? And if so, are you planning on really working on building your profile at those events?
Can't tell you guys all that. Just kidding. No, but that's for sure. I feel like everyone has their strong points and the weakest point, and and that's something that I've been trying to work on the last couple of years and really trying to put in the work. And and this year I'm definitely going to have opportunities to go in places like that, come back to Hawaii, go to Tahiti, go surf some other waves that I never been, and just put in the time and get better and just focus on improving and really surfing.
When you look at this position that you're in, the reigning world champ, two-time world champ, and then you kind of go into surfing history and you look at the greats from Aki to Kelly to Andy, and even more recently to Gabriel Medina, who all were in this same position where they're like, hey, I'm going to take some time off and then get the wild card and come back stronger. Does that sound kind of familiar to you now that where you sit today of kind of comparing yourself to the world champions of the past and actually craving that time off?
Yes and no, Joe, because you don't know until you're that position that you're like, okay, I'm going to decide to do this, and it's the impact is so powerful because, I've been doing this for 11 years now on tour, and 15, 16 years, being a professional surfer. And me, this guy here, we shared a lot of, amateur events together. Of course, he's a little bit older, but we still got to surf together a few events. And we've been doing it since we're little, right? And there's always that pressure, not from parents or anything like that. It's just like ourselves, trying to show our best side and just trying to get better. But after a few years, you're just like, okay, I got to a point that I definitely need a break. But it's definitely a hard decision for me. I was crying at home for like 3 days, just like, I really want to do, but I don't want to do. But at the end of the day, it's just focus on my body, my mental health, being home and really relaxing, And but yeah, it's an opportunity that we have. The WSL was awesome about it. They're just like super helpful, super supportive, and all my sponsors too. So yeah, just super thankful for everyone around that, been helping me out.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thanks for being with us, our world champion, defending event champ. Joining us for the call of this heat, Gabriel Medina in the lineup with Eli Hanneman and Matthew McGillivray. And Filipe is going to give us all his insight on a wave he won on last season that helped out his world title campaign in 2023. Gabe, off to a good start. Let's break down this replay, Jesse. A 5.0 on the opener.
Yeah, let's check this out. Gabriel starting early. It's what I think it's so impressive obviously, this is the first time I'm seeing this wave, just how he was able to carry the speed throughout that wave. It's so hard to do that here, mostly in that situation that he was in it. And here, a big of a contrast, just a big section from Eli. Nice turn right there. The wave's just getting very flat after that and probably running into this channel. But just critical turn, that's what he got rewarded, a 4.93.
Well done for Eli Hanneman and also Matthew McGillivray coming through the whitewater, 8.33, Filipe.
Yeah, I mean, that's this is the kind of turns that you want to do at Sunset, you know. Once you have one big turn on the wave and then a second one like that on a big section, you're pretty much know they're going to get a big score, you know, because Sunset, you need that big open face and that big carve, a lot of water. So, and Matt, you know, he's one of my favorites, you know, on bigger surfing, and he just puts everything in the line. And I mean, we're just watching this wave right now, getting an 8.33 2 turns pretty much. So, good surfing.
Really love that connection for McGillivray. He's put in a lot of time out here in the off season. Always strong in big open ocean waves. You just reminded me, Filipe, some big turns he provided at Main Break Margaret River when he really needed it the most to keep himself on the right side of the midseason cut.
Yeah.
As we break this one down, I just can't get past Eli Hanneman and his favorite surfer. Every time I hear an interview, he mentions your name. And I think it was kind of cool that he got to pass you on some messages about hearing your announcement because he wanted a heat with you really badly. How cool did that feel?
That was the first comment I got on my post. He goes like, "Oh, I really wish I surfed a heat with you this year." I was like, "Just keep doing what you're doing, bud. You're doing good. You're surfing amazing, putting the time out there. You know, seen so many clips of Eli out here at Sunset too. So, and I feel like all the new kids on tour right now, they're all fired up and super energetic. It's pretty fun to watch. But you know, I just hopefully that can keep going, and I'll see them next year."
Jesse, do you see a bit of Filipe and Eli in his game?
Totally. Two freaks since they were 12. Like Filipe, like he's been on another level since I can remember. Just pushing everyone so hard. Even I'm about 3 years older than him, I think 2-3 years. And he would do his division, our division, and the next division and smoke everyone. And this is what Eli, like, he's just a phenom, you know, like since he was so young doing backflips and has every trick on the book.
Yeah.
Amazing tube rider, charges,
yeah.
And yeah.
Out of all those messages you received, you know, when you made the big announcement, did any particular ones really pop out to you, or was it just all the support that added up?
You know, there's definitely the ones that you're, you know, kind of like, okay, I like this guy or I like the surfer or something like that. But I feel like the surfing community, they all understood, like, you know, like what I was feeling pretty much. I got, you know, pretty nice message from Parco, got, you know, pretty cool message from Mick, you know, and like some of my best friends on tour as well. And, you know, I got to spend personal time with Miguel, you know, like talking about all that. But yeah, I feel like all the support from everyone was just amazing and super warm, and, you know, kept my heart, you know, pretty cool. And I was just like, okay, that's nice, because at the end of the day, I was just like, I wasn't ready for so many good, you know, like, and supportive comments. I was kind of scared, but at the end of the day, I was just like, man, this is for me. This is my decision. You know, I'll just do it. And then after all that post and the announcement, everyone was super supportive, and I was super stoked.
Tamo junto as we look at 19 on the clock. Medina up and out, 5 and a .57. 8.33 on the opener for McGillivray set the mark there as he steps off again on wave number 2. Here comes Elijah Kealoha Hanneman, just having to get out of there. Eli's been putting in so much time on this wave. He's enjoying the process, feeling himself get more and more prepared for this rookie season. And he showed us a lot of great things at Pipeline. His technique, absolutely charging, but he definitely was unsatisfied with the result, trying to carry some momentum here into Sunset Beach, Jesse.
Yeah, and he's feeling that. Obviously, he had more in the tank. Such a talented surfer, and he's so comfortable there. He's very comfortable putting himself in tricky situations out of pipe, and mostly with the days that we had with big conditions, you got to be very comfortable at doing that, and he has that in him. So had more to show it off for us, but maybe he's going to capitalize and bring that momentum that he started that well. Maybe not as far as result, but as far as performance. His first heat, he had an amazing drop, a great barrel, and yeah, let's see how it goes. But at this moment, everyone had, like, in the split of 30 seconds, everyone kind of committed a mistake. Everyone got waves and lost priority in situations that they should have not. So let's see who's going to be able to capitalize on that mistake. And Gabe's sitting with priority now, and he's usually pretty good at that.
Breaking down Gabe as a sunset surfer, I have this crazy floater that always pops in my head.
Yep.
Remember the air drop, and he pulled it off somehow, featured in some finals at the World Cup stage. How would you break down what he can do at a wave like this, Felipe?
I don't know. I think we need him here to actually explain. But yeah, that was one of the most insane floaters I've ever seen. He was literally needing to score the last 30 seconds. Got on that sunset bowl, and the biggest section comes at him. He sits on the roof, flies back down, lands it on his back, like try fighting for it, like gets up on his board, and it was pretty much like one turn that he did on the wave. I can't really remember, but it was like 8 something. He went from 4th all the way to 2nd or 1st. So, like the way that he committed to all his turns, and I know Gabriel is really good at coming back off laybacks. He falls on his back, and somehow he always recovers it. But yeah, it was impressive.
Gabe Medina, an absolute hero on all venues on tour, looking to capitalize with his priority at the moment with 16:15 on the clock. Plenty of time for heat number 9 with Matthew McGillivray still out front. We'll be right back. Out and enjoy the full edit of Eli Hanneman's run to the championship tour on Red Bull Surfing's YouTube channel. As we go down the line with South Africa's Matty McGillivray coming down on his feet for completion, trying to improve on his total out front. Opened up with the 8.33 and sitting in a good place now with a 12.6 combined total. 13 on the clock. 3-time world champ Gabriel Medina locking in. Starting off with a backhand snap. More of a wall here under the lip. Somehow pulls that one off. Well done for Medina. Ditching a 0.57. And Eli holding down priority, sitting in 3rd. Came off that really rad clip with Red Bull, and talk about a dramatic year for Eli last year. Before we get there, we'll start off with Matty's wave here, Jesse.
I think just more than anything in this wave for Matty is just smart decision. 3rd priority. Had no backups, has a huge score in the heat, and just smart to get a backup and make even more of a gap in between the other surfers. And Gabe right here, a little bit late on that last turn than he probably would have liked to, but still very critical. Gonna get a good backup on that as well.
Speak to the backhanders out here at Sunset, Jesse. I asked Connor O'Leary about it this morning. He laughed. He was like, being a backhander at Sunset, there's nothing good about it. He kind of was joking with me a lot. So what about your response of a good thing about being a backhander of Sunset, if you have something for us?
I think a good thing about being a backhander of Sunset is on a day like today. If it's northy and kind of all over, it's easier for you to get critical and vertical, and the judges are going to reward that usually. So if there's an advantage on a day, it's probably will be maybe not an advantage, but more in an even playing field. I think it'll be on a day like today.
Still enjoying our time with 2-time world champ and event champ here at Sunset, Filipe Toledo, watching Eli Hanneman in motion. Hanneman off the top. There's a snap in transition. Already hanging out with the caddies and the Waz over there and going to the distance, turning that one into a keeper, needing a 5.67. Felipe, how do you do there?
Yeah, I did good. I mean, that first turn was pretty solid in a critical section of the wave. You always want to start, pretty good and solid. And he did that. He was able to get one last turn too. That was pretty nice. Yeah, I feel like he's back in the heat now with the second score, and just be patient right now and wait for a bigger score and a better wave.
Let's have another look here, Jesse.
Yeah, nice wave selection there for him. Lots of speed, and critical right there. Just hitting the lip is so hard out here at Sunset. There's so much going on, and actually it was impressive how he was able to get so much spray out of that second turn, because there's like a split little point right there that he could actually push through it, and he found that. Smart surfing for him.
And then right by the caddies there, Eli doing a good job to prepare for this big event, as we were mentioning earlier. Matty McGillivray, though, will take now his 5th wave of the matchup. His wave previous, a 4.27. That's still his low score. Throwing a nice clean arc. I really enjoyed Matty McGillivray at the start of the season. Remember the 10 he got in Tahiti, which was beyond impressive. I just really enjoyed that he did a similar type of approach at Pipeline to show off that technique. You know, when you come from J-Bay, everyone's expecting you to do on the rights on tour, and that's a great skill set that he has. Back to this last wave, Filipe, what'd you see here?
Yeah, kind of like a, not super walled wave. He was kind of cutting back all the way down. Not much on offer for him to go critical and go up in vertical, but he's pretty solid in first. He now changes a 4.27, but he only needs like a little bit more to actually improve his situation. But yeah, just keeping active and like catching waves, getting into flow. I feel like this helps a lot sometimes at Sunset too.
9 minutes on the clock. Let's catch up with the winner of the last heat. Leo Fioravanti is with AJ.
Leo, congratulations. First heat here at Sunset. First heat win. How did you get it done?
Just me versus Sunset. That's what it is out there. Started off on a good wave, and then I made a couple mistakes, but it's really tough to choose the right wave out there. And then my backup score was actually in third priority. They kind of let it go and put me in a good lead, and then just try to kind of control at the end and compete, trying to stay in the heat and make sure that the boys don't get a really good wave.
Yeah, I want to talk about the strategy there, because it is obviously so important to know where you are in the heat, what everyone else needs. How have you honed that aspect of your competitive surfing skills?
There's definitely places where you worry about your competitors and places where you worry about surfing, and Sunset, I think, is really trying to make sure you get on a good wave. But also, if a competitor needs a 5 or a 6 at Sunset, it's actually a big score. Whereas maybe Pipe, it's quite easier to get those bigger scores. So I think that's what I was trying to focus on, get a good total and then just control. And I think Callum at the end needed a 6 or a 7 to pass me or something like that. So I knew a really good wave needed to come for him to get it.
How much confidence does it give you to win this first heat of Sunset moving forward in the competition?
Oh, it's great. With the whole seeding bracket thing, it's always important to win. But in the end, everybody surfs so good that it kind of doesn't really matter who you draw. Maybe the last seed is amazing or whatever. It's like definitely gives me a lot of confidence to win the heat at Sunset, and I'm really excited for the next round.
Do you want to say anything to friends and family back home before we let you go?
Yeah, ciao a tutti in Italia, non è troppo tardi se mi avete visto, grazie, un supporto incredibile che mi date e un abbraccio forte. Dai.
Thanks so much, Leo Fioravanti. I love how he said it was him versus Sunset. We've heard that a lot at this venue on tour. As we have Medina kick out, who's trying to get out of third. Remember, third place goes the elimination round, which has been called on for today. Leo, though, 10-5 total, winning the challenge in that first round, and we'll see him reseeded into the round of 32. Always good to check out the heat check for the matchup that we have right now. Filipe, anything really standing out to you as we bring this up? Anything interesting?
Yeah, I guess we all agreed that first wave of Matt was, the best wave of the heat. 2 big turns, finishing off with a little turn, right by the channel. And I feel like Eli is doing a good job of, selecting the waves that he's going to. And, we all know he's super dangerous in any condition. I guess just kind of wait for a good wave, getting that rhythm, be perfect. But so far, Matt's been the standout on this heat.
And also looking at last score, you could see Matty with the 3.33. On the other side for Eli, the 6.5 is now Eli's best. And then last of Medina, just the 1.8. So a throwaway as Gabriel stays in third, Jesse.
Yeah, just poor wave selection right there on that last one, which is tricky out here. It's so easy for you to pull the trigger, thinking that the wave's going to be good, and the wave just flattened out. There's so many shallow and deep spots in the reef, so the wave would hit differently every time you stand up on a wave here. But it was a mistake, and now sitting with third priority, like, guys are going to be on top of it. Mostly if you have someone like Gabriel that can turn average waves into good scores, you're going to keep a very close eye on them.
One of the coolest things about last year, watching you compete, Filipe, was your wave selection. Really popped out to me at a lot of the waves. When you qualified for the tour, I enjoyed those heats because you caught a lot of waves, and there was a lot of great moments, and got to watch a lot of surfing. But more specifically, J-Bay, sometimes looking at the heat draw or the heat sheet, it's like, oh, you only caught 2. It was like you really honed in on what a good wave looks like. But on a day like today at sunset, is that easy to do, or would your game plan be like keep it going with the waves that we have for today?
Yeah, I feel like that's the hard part too, because as Jesse said earlier, it's kind of like all over. You're not too sure which wave is gonna be good, and you're gonna have a section to actually do a turn. But I feel like if you see an opportunity that you like, oh, I can fit 2 turns in this wave, maybe like a big end section, I feel like that's gonna be the biggest scores. And it looks like a pretty good wave for Matt, but yeah, not really. See, like as Jesse said, he hits the riff like every time is different. You're thinking the wave's going to be a good one, and then all of a sudden it flattens out, and you're just like, okay, what do I do now? But yeah, I feel like finding that opportunity to fit 2 big turns, it's a good strategy. But of course, you got to really select the waves and position yourself out there. It's super hard. There's a lot of water moving, and it's definitely a challenge, but it's a fun one.
Do you have your lineups, Jesse, that you want to share?
Yeah, I do. I'm not competing anymore. So
wow, this is a great opportunity. You're an open book now.
No, I wasn't ever a guy that hid it much, but I should have maybe more than. But yeah, there's definitely lineups here. There's lineups for me that were to be in position, and lineups to not get caught by sets. I'm like, if I'm here, I'm clear. Like if it's 12 foot and I'm here, I'm safe.
Please share. Where's that?
Actually, it's in front of.
I think everyone needs to know that.
Might be the house that we're sitting right here. It's the corner of that house. I remember always sitting by there. That you'd be like, if it's a big day, if I paddle, 20 foot deep, I can catch waves. And if a big set cleaning up comes, mostly in a 4-man heat on the QS, like you really have to manage your time well. And I was like, okay, I can sneak by the big sets that swing. And I think it might be this house or the one over. I'm not sure.
I love it. I love this part of your career, sharing everything. As we look at Gabriel Medina, important wave for him. Trying to hang on to the turbulence off the top. Now a fading cutback, chasing a 5.84 to avoid the elimination round. Nice clean top turn, already checking his time on the Apple Watch. And we'll see if he'll get a little bit closer, but definitely look hard for him to really engage on that first section, Filipe.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, that first section, as we see Matt right now, looks like a good wave, but...
Throws down the wrap, and it does grow ahead of him. Nice oncoming section to throw the drift, and he'll step off. So yeah, every wave they take off on, we have to wait to see what's in store for him. And Medina definitely had a challenging wave to ride on that last exchange.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed like the wave had a lot of lump, and he got so much speed trying to go around the section that actually once he had the opportunity to do a turn, he had almost too much speed, and he kind of lost the rail throughout the turn, and you see Eli up and riding.
Eli Hanneman keeping a higher line, now down to the bottom of the wave. Trying to slow down now. A nice adjustment, getting spit out. What a great read. And so happy to celebrate a fun moment in this matchup. It's been challenging to find some nice clear water. He really had to slam on the brakes to enjoy that tube ride, Filipe.
Yeah, sunset with the big open waves that we have, we got so much speed, and sometimes just super hard to slow down. As you see, he went super low on the bottom of the wave, so he could wipe up all that speed, and then just parked into the barrel in that section. Got speed out super gnarly, but definitely a good score for him.
And then back to that wave for Medina. That first turn was really tough.
Yeah, almost just a little too much speed for the section, getting a little bit more flat than he expected, and he really needed that first turn because that was the best section of the wave. And Eli here finding that double up, this is a dreamy wave for today. Like Filipe said, just nice long bottom turn to slow himself down and getting a big spit, which is not so typical for Sunset. And yeah, perfectly reading wave there for Eli. He's going to get a good score.
So good to see. Proud of his jersey, number 60 as a rookie. Points to it and takes a bow. Medina now still riding before we hit the buzzer. 5 seconds still on the clock. Chasing a 7.01 now. And we'll see if he did anything when he took off on his final wave of the opening round, heat number 9. Eli Hanneman, meanwhile, gets a 6.77 for the barrel. McGillivray drops to second, even with the 8.33. And last score of Medina already in the 2-point range. So he'll be having another round to surf later. We'll see what happened on this one, Jesse.
Yeah, it just looks like... Oh, actually, the wave doubled up. I thought he was coming in, but... Yeah, he was way on the inside already, that wave. But we're getting even a more stacked elimination round now with Gabriel going.
Definitely, and also him having a tough loss at Pipe. Oftentimes he's in the final or winning that event, and so he definitely wants to avoid an elimination round loss later on today. Filipe Toledo, absolute hero. Can't thank you enough for joining us today because we already started missing you when you made your statement, so we really appreciate your time. And I know you're going to get some great waves along the way this year, and definitely enjoy your family as well.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Relax, surf, enjoy the family, and come back to you guys next year.
That's right. Anything you want to share about trips coming up, or are you just going to kind of go with the flow?
Not really, yeah. First steps, just go back home and get on their routine with the kids, school drop-offs and pick-ups, and surf session with the kids, and, you know, get my training going. And, yeah, but pretty soon I'll be flying around and chasing waves.
Muito obrigado. Valeu, monstro.
Thank you. Obrigado.
Appreciate your time. We'll take a quick break as we continue with the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. Ian Gentile taking on Italo Ferreira and Jacob Wilcox right after this.